Hi everyone, welcome to this new Odoo Insider session with a new schedule today because we start like 30 minutes earlier. We'll see if you enjoy it and if we reproduce that or if we come back to the previous setup that we had. Arthur is saying, no, we keep this one. Apparently, that's fine for me. It's good. We're in the morning here.
Yeah, we keep this schedule.
We keep this one. Okay, forever, whatever happens. But you have a mic now, so can you? Yeah, people can. Yes, people can hear you now. That's good. All right, guys, you have the usual page, just to find the previous topics that we covered together. We already have, I think, a question on YouTube. Yeah. Yes. Okay, that's good. From Saud 18, coming back, and Abdul, I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you doing? Happy New Year, by the way, because I should have started with that. Here we have Saud saying, is there a way to hide the cost column in the salesman account when doing a quotation? Yes, we have that question from time to time, or similar question, let's call it. Let's do this. Okay, going on a regular environment, I'm going to show what exactly you want, because I believe that on the sales you have something like this. Maybe I should always start explaining a bit more about what you say. Here you see that basic way of having a look at the sale order. We don't have the cost side, simply because I believe it's related to the sales margin module. So I will check if we can have and add margins. At least it was not installed, so it could be because of that. I'm installing it now, and we'll see in a few seconds. Okay, what's the look of my sale orders? Okay, so we don't have the cost, and you remember that OI description that we made last week. I should maybe remove this one so that we have a better view. I will quickly go in debug mode just to have this a bit better, and I will continue answering the question of Saud just after. Just going back to the inherited views, you maybe know that already by now. I'm going to have a look at the one that we created last time, and you see it's just a studio customization. It's only about that change. There are no other changes. It's the only one that we have on that view, so I will safely disable it. So saving the view, coming back here, if I refresh this page. Funny, it's, yes, that's maybe because it should be not this one, but the one of the sale order lines, and that would be a bit longer, or maybe I simply didn't save it. That's maybe also why. All right. Okay. Is it doing better now? No, it seems like he doesn't accept it. I will go there just after. I will continue the mission given by Saud about the cost. So you see here, or I can simply remove it that way. That's maybe better for the time being. You have here the purchase price, and I believe that's what you want to hide, maybe because people then can change it, and you can add another cost and reduce the cost so that maybe your margin may look better because the KPIs you have is on the margin, and people cheat or people abuse the system. And if you want to make that invisible or to make it read-only, we can change that. Invisible, if you say you would like to make it invisible just for the salesman account, then my answer would be the following, because there are multiple ways to do that. What we can do is just say that if we have a look at the groups that exist, I'm going to type groups here. We see, because I'm in debug mode, I can see all the groups. And if I have a look at the ones that are related to sales, you see we have first the lower group is own document, then all documents, and then admin. And we are going to say those two cannot have access to it, so I would need to be a sales administrator to be able to see it. So how we can do that? I will do it with Studio first and see if we can do that with Studio, or if I need to dive into the extra information in the views. But I think that we can do it from Studio, and I will edit here the list. So what I could have done also is simply mark that as invisible. That would work as well for my own. And yes, here I guess that I need to show the invisible ones as well, so that we will have the cost somewhere. Where's the cost? Where's the costs? Okay. We have a lot of things that are hidden. Subtotal cost, it is here. Good. So you can make this only related to a specific group. So you have this allow visibility to group, and I would start and saying, okay, it's only the sales admin that has access to this. So the regular salesperson cannot see it. And if I do this, of course, here I'm connected with this user. This user has all the accesses that he needs, and so he is sales admin there. So that's why I still have access to the cost. But if I change that, and if I go in the sales admin, I will see if I can remove myself from that group. Yes, it could have been that removing myself from the group makes me pop again, simply because this group is inherited by another one. We covered that in a 2 hours long video about the access rights. I think it was like 1-2 months ago. It's part of the list that you will find in the Odoo Insider videos. By the way, going back here, that's what I mean. You have it there. There's something about the access rights. It was not too long ago, but so have a look at that. We discussed that in extended mode. And if I go here now, we don't have the cost anymore. You see, and I cannot have a look at this. So the best way is to use something completely standard, using Studio to help us hiding the field. That would be the first way I would do that. We have a question of Malay, still on YouTube. How can we do a backdated inventory entry in Odoo? I think you can't. We can have a look at that, but so I know for sure that you cannot do that, or at least you cannot have an inventory at a date in the past. So if you have a look, I'm not always sure about that, but we can have a look at the if you go to the valuation, you can have some valuation at date, but I think that the stock, for example, the stock at date, yeah, you would have it here. Let's see if we had something there. So it's able to reproduce it, but then yeah, I think that the trick, you have it, but it's on the product, so you have the global stock, but you don't have it, I think, per stock location. Yeah, that's the thing. So you would have to get the aggregated numbers on the product. But what you ask is not exactly that. It is, how can we do a backdated inventory entry? So I suppose that you don't want to only report the inventory, you would like to make a new operation in the past. So I could try to do that. You could try by going from the purchase side or the sales side and doing something in the past with changing the dates. Here, I'm going to change and see if I can do that for the 1st of November. For whoever it is, we are going to receive a new motorbike. And let's see if I can date that in the past. We have a bit of additional info there. Here, no other date field. Okay, so the only date field that we have is here. But the issue that we have is that usually it is marked as done at the moment where we validate. So if I need to put a serial number somewhere. Okay, maybe I will take a product that doesn't need a serial number. Okay, but on this one I have another quality control check. So if I do this, you see I had a scheduled date, but the effective date, I think it's even date done. Yes, date done. This one is the date I think at which we are going to consider this one coming in the stock. And so that date done, let me check. I'm pretty sure that it's not something that you can change. It's read only. I wouldn't be surprised to see it read only in the code. So if it's in the code, you cannot even change that easily, but maybe by overwriting some date information on top of it. So I'm checking how it is computed on the picking, but it's not the picking so much. It would be, well, the picking could be a good first approximation, but when it comes to stock, you have a lot of things that are information that you have here in the header, so in the picking, but the information about the product is the stock move, as you can see here. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we have also some notion of date done on the stock move. Let's have a look at that, because maybe that's the one, not these models, maybe that's one that we need to have access to. So stock move, it could even be the stock move line, by the way. Let's see if we have something there with a date done. No, we don't have date done here. We have date, scheduled deadline. Okay, don't seem to be any other dates. Let's see if I'm right. We have reservation, create date, deadline. Okay, so the done date is not on the stock move. Let's see if we have something more right here. Just date time. Okay, last updated on that. Okay, not the one that we are looking for, so it will be on the picking. So I suppose that it will be really this one that matters to us. We can have a look at that and check also how the reporting is evolving based on the new entries that I have. I'm going to redo that, and we are going to monitor the change in the stock. Where is it? Okay. All right. So how much do I have? I will go here in my stock reporting, because we wanted that date. I come back to what I was saying earlier. If I want to have it per location, anyway, I cannot have it at date. So if you want to do this, I suppose that you would be interested in having also that inventory entry. If it's in the past, it's also because you want to report it in the past. So I will go in the stock reporting here. I would have a look at the inventory right now. So inventory right now for my product, that is, which one was it? It's storable product. Okay, I have apparently on hand 112, free to use 112. And if I go back inventory at date, I will go back just one day earlier. And we have 111. That's because indeed, so it is already sufficient to show us that it's at this date that it was taken. I can maybe check if we can do something a bit finer than this. We have inventory at date. Yeah, we even have the time. So I could spend a bit of time changing this. I need to have access to this, and I would say even before 6 or that time. Where is it storable? Okay, so already today at 6 a.m. We didn't have anything, so clearly it's even not only the date but the effective date that, well, date and time that matters here. Okay, so if you want to change that, trouble is chances are quite high if I go in the data model, but this time in the files here in the stock picking, that's the one I want. There's a transfer, you see read-only is false, so there are not maybe that many places where we're going to change this information. Date done here, you see it's already read-only, so the only way I could do that is programmatically. I cannot change it through an import, I cannot change it by going to the view and trying to force the view into read-only equals true. That won't work because it's some kind of security that we have. Okay. When is it changed? Okay, so it's when we really go to action done, and it's the only other place where we are going to use that. So a thing that you could do is, I'm not going to advise you to change this action done method, because of course that's working the way you want it, maybe what you can do is otherwise create a script, or if it's just 1 or 2 moves, change the value. We can try that together and see what it gives in terms of result. I don't mean that it is the right way to do it or that it is smart, but we can try it together just for the sake of the exercise. Let's go into the server actions. I will try to modify date done on a picking, and I'm going to say, I'm going to try it different ways, by the way, because here we have a update record. You see me, I'm always going for the execute code, but here we have something about updating the record. I just want to see if that is possible to use it that way. Is it going to propose date done? Yes, it seems like okay. Yeah, and I don't know which is the format I should give, by the way. That is where I'm going to struggle. I will, because I don't know if it's looking for a date format, a Python date object, or if it's looking for just the string of the date. So we'll check that. It could be that it will be a quick struggle for this one. But what I can try to do is at least retry date time now, something like this, just to see if this would be working. Otherwise, it doesn't seem to not accept it at least. We'll see if it will change here. 9:38. We can try and see. Okay, so something wrong. I guess it's yes, it's a time. The time now. It's not matching this format, so I will need to change it to the right format, and that is a bit longer. It's funny that it's accepting it right here. Do we change the format of the date? And that for me is really a struggle. I'm ready to go a bit further in that struggle. Or maybe we can try something else. Do we have access to the record? Because maybe we want to do that using the schedule date. I don't know if that works, by the way. Let's try together. No, what is it going to tell me? Record doesn't exist, or it's same. That's fun in a way, because when you have a look at that, the format is the same. So I don't know if that is not another issue, but I'm trying to force and say that the date done should be equal to the scheduled date. It's telling me the format is not correct, while it's the same. So apparently, maybe I should have somewhere here some date format to change. And for that, I will need always a bit of help from Google, simply because I'm really not good with the date time aspect. I know it's at STRF. There are always things like this. So it is string from time. I'm going to try 1 or 2, and if I cannot succeed, okay. Formatting date object into readable strings. Okay, let's try this one. And okay, let's try this. We'll see if it fails. I will abandon and maybe come back later with this, because I see there are already some other questions. And it was telling me about a format, so I'm going to reuse the format that we have here and see what it's telling me. Okay, that looks like that is what it is expecting. Let's see if that's better. Nope. Yeah, still telling me the same. I really don't like to abandon that. So what I would like to do is maybe do this and see, in fact, if I remove that, what is it even telling me? Yeah, that's weird. It looks like this, like hours, minutes, seconds, and then day, months, year. That is correct. All right. And if I do it the following way, it gives me exactly the same information. All right, so I don't know exactly why it doesn't accept it. I'm going to try it in another way. Maybe it's the update record thing. I'm going to try it this way. And say simply that the date on one side should be the date on the other. So here it's in fact, I'm doing the same but with a different action, so I'm not expecting directly a different result. We'll see. Date done. Okay. Okay, and this one it worked. Okay, it's weird because in essence, you see here I changed the effective date. Now it's the same. The weird thing is that with update record it didn't seem to work, but doing it this way it does work. So I don't know if there's a place where in the update done we change the format of the date field. So it's a pain because I wanted to illustrate it with update record instead of execute code, which I'm using a bit more, just to show maybe arrogantly how simple it was. But here it's a bit more, maybe better. You know what you are writing. Seems to be okay, or at least it is okay. But maybe a reminder, and I think I don't remember who asked the question. It was on YouTube. That's what I remember. Malai, no, Abdul, no. Malai, about this one. This is maybe not, it's the only way you can do it fast, but it's maybe not the correct way of thinking. From time to time, you see here we answer questions, we go quite fast in the way we take the question, answer it directly. If a client asks me that, I would like to know why he wants to do it. If it's for, well, the reasons first, as I was saying. And then second, it's also, is it something that you are going to ask me again in the future? Because then maybe it's another thing I should do. Maybe I should make that field read and write. That would be faster. So it's still effectively changed by the date done, because I'm reading, I'm clicking on validate there. But maybe you want to change the date after. It's important that if you change the effective date here, and that the product also is product that you would like to value in your inventory, and that you have accounting entries that are displayed at the same time and generated. If I'm doing this, I'm not sure it is going to, let's go back to the inventory reporting. I'm not sure that in terms of valuation, it is going to change anything here. Yes, here you see, and that's maybe one of the dangers of such a change I made. This is only for the stock side that I changed it. Here you see the date of the storable product is still today, or was it the other one? Let me check. No, 18 it changed. It is this, and there on the incoming 18 for that storable product, you see that it is this date. So this is problematic, because it will mean that I have stock and valuation information that don't align perfectly. So you always need to know and be sure what you are doing. That's what I wanted to emphasize on. Okay, I think we have a few questions on the other platforms. Yes, this one from Omaidou Julien. To start the year, a quick question about how to manage notifications in Odoo by user. For example, how do you remove the notifications of a salesperson being assigned to a sale order? That's fun. That's one that we already covered. I remember I had to make a video about this. Let me check. You're going to see me look at another window, because I need to load another file that is on my side, because I know that I have this. I wanted to make it a separate video because it's a question that we receive a lot. And for this, there is a small format of videos that we want to create with Arthur. That we want to call I was asked today, where we have the question that you asked today and that are very important to you and that are recurring. We want to make it a compilation of those questions. And this one, it was already asked in the past, and I think
mid-January the first video will be out, and it will be once a week.
Ooh, excellent. That is good. I'm checking the link that I have. Okay, so in fact, I will tell it, or you tell it.
Alright guys, so Arthur on the mic. I'm still not used to use the mic. So basically I made a comment. Mid-January, the first video will be available for the concept I was asked today, and it will be on YouTube. Thank you.
That's it. Perfect. So here I wanted to answer Julien's question. There is that notion of message unsubscribe that you can use to unlink if you want to directly unsubscribe someone, but also there is this context information that you can give. So this context, I'm going to try to find a good example, is that when you put that in the context, it is going to make it so that the person doing this, and here you see the users, you are going to add them maybe as followers, but you are not going to notify them. So it's something that you can do so that people don't receive an extra email. And you can have it different places. If you want to have it on, let's say, so you have it, yes, say the person assigned to a sale order. It's at the moment where the person is assigned to a sale order, so it's at the creation of the sale order that you should be using that extra contextual information. Creation of the sale order, I don't know if that is something that you would have created manually like this. If it is, I wonder how to change the context. I will try to see if we can change here the action to give it a context and see if it's working that way. I think it will, but I just want to be sure. Okay, so here you see me having a look at the action. Maybe I've been a bit fast, I will come back to this. When you are in a view of Odoo, here it's a 3 view, you can click on the small debug icon and you will click on the action. The action is, in fact, what is the action that was triggered in order to load the view. Because in fact, you have 3 different items here when you click on something. If I click here on the menu item is sales order quotation. Maybe I will explain that again in the menu items. So if I type quotation, you see we have here sales orders quotations. That is where we are, sales order quotation. And clicking on that menu item, a menu item is just placed, it is located in the menu, but what is happening when you click on a menu item, and there apparently I made a mistake, what you do when you click on a menu item, it is going to load something, and that something it is defined in some information that we have here, that is the action of the menu. And you see you have different types of action. In fact, I could have an action, a menu item that loads a Google new window if you want. That would be possible. I don't see the use of that, but it's just to illustrate. And then you see you have action quotation here, which is the one I changed. And it's good that I'm going here because then I can show you how I change it in a wrong way. Because here it's telling me, hey, something went wrong. So apparently I made a mistake. And there's a small starting quote here. I think it shouldn't be there. That's maybe something I didn't pay attention when I was creating a context. Let's retry it again. Let's reload. Let's go back in the quotation, and now it's good. So quickly, and that is something that is good that we covered this today. You make an issue in the context. Odoo doesn't make it impossible for you to save a context that is wrong. So that's maybe something that we could improve, but I will remove that, resave it again. But just to let you know here, if you change the context and then you have an error, maybe review the context and see if it is not the error that you had. Okay, so quotes now. We are in a quote. I'm going to create something new. The thing is, I'm not sure I will be able to test it myself and only with my user. I will need somebody else. So I'm going to check if I can add that guy. Yes, it's still there. Do I have my Henry guy that would be available for a bit of help? Oops, I never remember my password, so we are going to try connecting. I'm doing this with another person just to be sure that the notification, it's better tested with different users, because sometimes it could make sense, and we do it for the emails, by the way, that we are not going to send an email to yourself. If I'm creating something and I'm, let's say, creating a sale order, I assign myself to a sale order, I don't need to receive an extra email on top of the assignation, because I know I was doing it. So sometimes we avoid that, and it could be that we have no notifications, no emails, because it's the same user. So that's why I want to use another user. Just mentioning this for your test, because sometimes we get partners and clients saying, hey, yeah, but I want to test this, I don't receive an email. But that's normal, it's as expected. So that's why I need to test it this way. I'm Going to check if I can connect first. Good, working. Okay, so we have two different people, same company, yes, Belgium company. That is good. I have 3 notifications. I will remove all of that. Nope. Good. This one, I don't want to. Okay, no notification. Let's try it. Let's go for the French company here. Let's go for Henry. I put just a product and amount. It doesn't matter too much. Doing this normally should already receive a new notification. It looks like it didn't receive anything, but you can see it. So, all right. I'm going to try, because this at the moment it's not a complete correct try. I need to go there and remove the action and see if he's receiving something more. So I will add just as extra A here, and it's sufficient for the context not to work because it's not the same string anymore. So I'm going to test it again. I will create a new one instead of duplicating, but duplicating should have the same effect. So I'm going to move this and again select Henry. Doing this, no notification. So what I can do in order to check that is see also how he receives the notification, Henry. Yes, he receives emails. So it could be that it's received by email. So I can check that also in his mailbox. Okay. So far I didn't receive any notification at all. So neither the first one nor the second one worked. So that could be something that I need to review. Let's try it again. Let's go back in the sales. Because my struggle at the moment is I cannot even send notifications. Okay. All right. There I have one. That is good. That is excellent. Okay, so I received this. Yeah, maybe simply the email wasn't sent yet. So here I see sale order number 16. I have a notification as I expected at the beginning at least. So that is good. I have my notif. I remove it and I'm going to change the action again and go back to this ID of yes, having the real notif system. I will duplicate it just to see if it's working better. Okay. Yes, duplication, I received it, but it's very good because I duplicated it, but I didn't refresh the view. So it's normal that I'm still receiving a notification. So it's for SO number 17. Let's go back now to the quote. Let's refresh the view, do it again. Okay. And I will again select this, add it. Henry Keegan here, saving, and this time no notification. So you see, it's don't forget different things. In order to check that, I changed my settings so that I see the notifications in Odoo. It's way faster. I don't have to wait for emails. It means also very important that I'm not adding an extra layer of complexity of using emails or maybe having questions about how the email works. It's just notifications inside Odoo. So that's a small thing that we have. So it's more efficient to test. I had to change that on the user. If you change the context of the action, it is working, but don't forget to refresh the view that you are using when you do it, because you saw me duplicating, and duplicating was not working simply because between the first sale order with a notification and the duplication, I didn't refresh the view, so we still had the context that was not the correct one for removing notifications. Last thing, just again, if you are interested about the name of it, it's here. Wait a second, it was this one, this value in the context. Mail auto subscribe, no notify. You can use that also in Wizard. For example, I remember the place where I used that for one of our partners was even on a button, because it could be, that's maybe also important. Well, I will do it here, but I think originally it was on a wizard of the invoice, but it's the same way. You could add, you see here, you have a context. You see it in the black box. You can add the context also on the button. If you want to do this, then it's not inside the action that you are going to change that. It is inside the form view. We must have something like send by email somewhere with a context. Let me try to find it. Send by email. Okay. And there you have a context, and that's where you will have to put it. So same way, same structure. The context notion is the same. It's the same. Yeah, it's really the same concept that you have here. It's just that it is triggered or changed. We add items to the context at different moments. Okay, good. We can dive to the next question from Abdul Ansar saying, how can I connect my bank account in accounting? So the way we do that usually is going into the accounting over there, and very often if you have a bank, you have bank setup. Now that is in version 18. I think that the button name is a bit different on version 17, but it's always in a bank journal, and in order to have a bank journal, I'm diving into this. Maybe you already know it, but it's always good to have a small reminder. You need to have a journal, and you see here we have different types of journals. So only the bank ones are the ones for which you will have this, and I only have one. So that's why, in order to see the bank journal and the bank setup button, it needs to be a bank journal over there, and also it needs to be in my favorites. Otherwise, I will have to remove the filter. Okay, bank setup here. You are going to select a bank, and then you have different possibilities. Either you use one of the free systems like Enable Banking or Plaid or Yodlee. I don't know the list of is it also Saltage that we have? We have 3 or 4 different ones, but they are not all activated for all the banks. Or Ponto, it's a paid one, but I think personally, in my opinion, it's the best in terms of quality. But it's not. It's mostly European. For the banks, I like it because of the interface, and just to tell you, we don't have any revenue on that. It's really strictly the other service that gets all the money. So I'm not advertising this one for the sake of the money that we would get. It's simply something that we don't have, that we don't receive. Okay, and then you say, do you want to have transactions and payments? And this time, that is new. The payments, you can initiate payment from Odoo if the integration supports it. Enable banking, yes. Enable banking doesn't. So very important. Ponto at least also allows transactions and payment. And you say if it's a business or personal type. If you want to go further, you click on connect, and Odoo is going to bring you to a third-party window, and there it really depends on the type of integration that you have. If it's Enable Banking, Ponto, or anybody else, you will have to continue authentication in different ways, because we need to be sure that you are the person associated to the card and the bank account that is behind the card. Well, before connecting both with Odoo, you are going to pretty sure receive either an SMS or some other ways of communicating, depending on what you said on your bank, to identify yourself. And be able to link it to Odoo. So starting from here, I'm going to discard. It's very, I would put quote here, straightforward. It's multiple steps, but usually you are guided by your bank. On our side, it's bank setup. You select the bank, and then you go to the bank itself and the different interfaces that you will get. And eventually, you will have a intermediate that would be the Enable Banking here or Ponto system. Second thing that is important, if you want to test it further and see what is the look and feel and how you can use this banking integration, it's something that we already demoed in the past. But you have access once you are in debug mode again. I will remove that. Once you are in debug mode, you have system parameters, and in the system parameters, you have here, and that's what I thought already. It's in sandbox mode. So here, the online synchronization, it's sandbox. So I have already a few tests I can perform, because otherwise, this one by default it is production. So this is a change that we made, I think, for one of the previous Odoo Insider sessions. So that's why it was already sandbox, and this means that if you go into the accounting, clicking on bank setup, the banks that you have here, yes, you see those are fake. And in fact, I was not sure, but maybe this one is the one that we have in Harry Potter. It sounds not real, this one. So that's why I was thinking about that. But there you see, you have lots of fake ones that you can go continue the connection. And I think that I can even emulate a fake bank account and have fake, let's say, bank statement lines, yes, in my platform yeah, and then I can say this. If I connect to the bank, you see now my bank is connected. Fake connection, well, a real connection, but to a fake bank account, and then it shows the different bank statement and bank statement lines. That's because I'm in Sandbox, and now you see you don't have bank setup because you are already connected, so it's just showing the transactions, and you can fetch new transactions. Okay, so that is the difference. I wouldn't be able to do that as quickly if I were in a real production environment, because then production would mean I need really to authenticate myself, obviously with a cell phone or with extra two-step authentication. All right. Another question on YouTube now is about how to set up bombs if in the manufacturing, if you sell product in boxes and singles. For example, we sell thermal rolls in boxes mostly, and some we sell in singles. How to set up so that singles subtract from the boxes automatically? That's a good question. I'm not sure we can do that super easily. I have a doubt. Usually we would do that, but you need to have the operation of subtracting the box from a pack, because what happens is that in the inventory, maybe I should start with that. I should start with the inventory. In the inventory, whatever you have in terms of product, if I go in the stock, you see you always have, and do we have it somewhere? No, we don't even have it here. You have notions here that are related to the quantity, but I have how much of what? Motorbike. Okay, motorbike is maybe easy because I know that it should be units, but that product, for example, I don't know if it's units, kilos, or whatever. I need to dive into the product. I see it's a good type managed by quantities, and the quantities here are units. You see it there and there. Here for the sales side, and the purchase is over there. So those are two different units of measures. There's not that notion of box, or at least if I want boxes, I need to define boxes of how many, and it will be then a different unit of measure, but it's only one unit of measure per product. So very often, for the case that you have, if you open a box and because the box is opened, you cannot reclose it, or you have to consider that it's not a box anymore, but it's 11 items, then I would suggest having two different bombs. It's one way of doing. There are maybe more. By the way, it's a very good question for the expert in stock that we have. And that could be one day in the Odoo Insider sessions. But the basic way would be the following. You would go into the inventory, you create two different products, the same product in boxes and the same product in a regular package of one. By the way, there's another maybe incentive to go that direction, is that in order to have different barcodes, you need to have different products, because you know products have only one barcode. So if a product has one barcode and that you happen to sell boxes, you need to have a barcode on the box and a barcode on the product that are different. So this would have, you would have two products, and inside the manufacturing, in the bill of material, you would have your let's say pack product on one side, that is made of the product themselves. We can try that. So I will create an edit. It's yes, I should say. Yeah, and there I cannot create more. I'm thinking about that, and I wonder if I'm not wrong, because then in the inventory there's also the notion of barcode linked to packaging. So I'm going one way, but I'm not sure it's the best one. You see that here I can select pack of 12. I cannot do it, so I need to go and see if it's possible to create another unit of measure. And see here in the units if we can. I could have selected dozens. That was fine, because it was we can work with a pack of 12. Otherwise, I add a new line here and I say pack of 12, but it would have been the same. I will go back to the same idea. So manufacturing. I'm creating that new bill of material pack product. Oops. There we go. I'm going to select dozens. Good. Purchase. We don't purchase it, we manufacture it. That is good. Okay. So I create 1 dozen with, then I would say that it's my storable product. This one, I just need 12 units to make one pack of storable product. I will even say storable product. Good. So because we have that, I have my pack of storable product and my storable product that is here. And if I want to create a new pack, it's just the addition and the selection of 12 of my items, group them together, and I have another product. And on the other side, you still have the possibility, if you create your product yourself, you can have a bill of material related to the storable product. And then you have different components. Do I have something here like, no, I don't have raw materials or whatever, but I can create it. Like here, good. Let's say we use 2 units of this one. And another one that we are going to manage in liters for, it's just a L now, yes. Okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, volume, that seems to be okay. All right, and let's imagine that we need a bit more liters. Good. So you can have that nested thing with your storable product that takes a bit of quantity of the first material, a bit of quantity of the second one, and then from there, if you want to create your pack, of course, you need further storable products, and this will trigger, if you want to pack, the second level of bill of material that you would have here. So that would be the first solution to different products. Because you sell them differently, you can unpack one product as well. You see unbilled orders. So when you have a product, you can unbuild it, meaning you can take a bomb and go the other direction. So if I select the bomb first, that one you could unbuild one if necessary. And the only thing is that it's telling me that I don't have enough. Of course, I will have to create that product first. But so you get the idea. Once you have your packs, you can unbuild it and retrieve the product. And that would allow you to have also, that's important as well as what we mentioned in the on the sales side with the different barcodes. It will allow you also to see the stock differentiated between the packs and the regular product. You would do this, and then you will see how many packs and how many products you have. I was telling you, there's maybe another option. I'm not sure about this one either, but that's because we don't use the packages. And do we have that somewhere? Because we have packages and packaging. Usually we have two notions that are similar in wording. Yes, product packaging. Okay. Do we have other things? Database. Yes, product packaging. Yes, that is it. So you see, that's where I always want to emphasize on that. You have the notion of package on one side, so putting the packets in packs. When you are in the delivery, for example, you are going to say, okay, this product, I put them together in the same box because I'm going to ship the box, whatever is inside. And then you have the notion of a bit further product packagings, and that is more saying like you have different products, and that product, they go by packs of 6 or boxes of 10 pieces, and that is per product. And then you have the product packaging that you have here. And I could have said that in fact in my packaging I have a unit packaging, and that would be for my storable product. And then you have a specific barcode for this one. And then on the other side, you have a packaging of pack of 12 for the same product. Notice that this time I'm not selecting pack of storable product because here is the storable product that I'm going to put in packs of 12, and then it will be 12 units and not 12 dozens. So here that's a package type. Yeah, it's if I want to use a link with the product from our shippers, I will use barcode 2, and then those ones, if I go on the storable product, I think that we have that information also maybe it's in the inventory. Yes, you see the different packagings that are related to this, and I could say that in fact this I don't purchase, I create it myself, but I can sell it. And from there, when you go in your sales, if I select storable product, you have the notion of packaging, and I can sell a pack of 12. But so it's telling me you should sell 12 units, so that at least I don't have a rounding issue and I'm indeed selling a pack. I wonder if, by the way, I'm going back to the units, so I can sell 12 units, but I wonder if just selecting one, so it's still units, if I select 12, is it going to propose automatically? Yes, the pack. So that's it. It's telling you are going to sell 12, and it selects automatically. It knows that the packaging of 12, it's a pack of 12 that you need to use. So same product here. So it would mean, however, that you have only one box for creating that storable product. The only thing is that it's at the moment where you are going to store it that you know that it's a pack of 12 or a pack of a unit of 1. You put it in your stock, and at the sales moment, you are going to select that packaging. I'm not going to complete the sale order. It's not super important. I just want to check if we have that information at the end of the manufacturing, which I'm not sure. Bill of material, storable product here. Yes, there's no notion of pack, but maybe that's not on the bill of material. I will try manufacturing order. So if I'm creating my storable product and I want to create 12 units, yeah, there's no place where I'm going to define that it should be produced under the form of a pack. So that's what I wanted to check just now. So maybe if it's focused on that first aspect of the manufacturing, maybe the first solution is the best. If it's a sales or purchase, maybe the second one is the best. All right, we have another question, this time on LinkedIn. We have made 3 digits in accounting. It was a big mistake. We want to return it back to 2 digits. Is there any workaround? That is complicated. Maybe I should illustrate that. It is complicated because, in fact, there's no way for Odoo to know in the accounting how we should go back to that 2 digits. And in fact, it's not a problem of Odoo, it's a problem of mathematics or rounding issue. I'm going to illustrate that and again emphasize on why it's a bad idea to go there if you don't know what you are doing, or if you think that you would like to come back to this later. When you go and you have a look at the invoices, you are in always only 2 digits after the comma or the dot here. That's why you always have those amounts. And it's possible to change that 2 different ways, but one of which is stored next to the currency information, which is a rounding factor. And you could say, I would like to move there to better precision. But there you have the message. You cannot reduce the number of decimal places of a currency already used on an accounting entry. So that's very important. Here, I'm not reducing the number of decimal places. I'm augmenting it. The issue that I will have is later if I want to come back, because it is going to impact everything that is related to accounting. It means that my totals on the invoices would be with 3 numbers after the comma. Same for all the journal entries, tickets, expenses, like lots of places will be impacted by this. Also the sale orders, because we are going to use the euro on the sale orders, well, a currency at least, maybe not euros, but a currency. So everywhere you will have a currency, we are going to have this. And so there are many places where you will have that. And the issue is that, let's imagine we have an entry that is we're selling a few products. We have the we can do it. I'm not going to save that because I don't want to alter my database for this, but I'm going to illustrate that. If I go on an invoice, I go there. We have here those 2 digits, but if I go in the journal items, that's what we have. Let's imagine that you go for 3 digits after the comma. You will get obviously something like 30, not 31, but 3005, like 305. And then maybe here it would be 305 as well, or it will be a bit smaller. But that is okay when you augment the accuracy. But if you remove the accuracy, then you are going to need to change the existing accounting entry with numbers that would be different because you need to round anyway, rounding or ceiling or flooring, but you will change the numbers in your accounting. So that's why it's impossible to do, or at least not if you don't know the entry that you should get in the end, and Odoo is not going to decide that for you. I remember a very, very long time ago, we had to do that for a client. It took a lot of hours. I would say that if you want us to analyze your case, you should send a message to the partner email, so the place where we handle the request for all those kind of demands. I'm saying this because it's not possible to develop that right now during the show, but I think that we did something like that. We already received the demands in the past, and we can dig into the solution that we found and see if it's something that could be applicable to you. But that would be through the partner network, so the partner success email address. So you can maybe enter in contact with your partner account manager to guide you on this process. Just the explanation, very, very important for everyone following us. When you see that here, it is important not to go there and not to change that rounding factor unless you are sure of what you are doing. Don't forget also, in fact, error on my side. I already changed it apparently, so now it's going to and you see, and that's the error that we have here. Is going to follow me forever, and here if I try to change it back, it's telling me that the same error that what we were discussing. So very important, if you do that, do it only in a test environment, not in production. Test if you like it. We have a few clients that use it and that are very happy with it because they wanted to have more precision, accuracy, but you still need in that case to know what you are doing and eventually test it a bit before. Okay, we have another question from Hero Mining. Hello Antoine, bien ou quoi? Yes, good. Want to know if it's possible to send an SMS just when the appointment is taken, like an instant confirmation message. Yeah, yes. I know you can send one before the meeting. Yes, so doing it when something is taken, yes, or at least I never did it, but I'm pretty sure that it would be. I'm going to do that with an automated action, as you know. It's automation rules. Yes. Oops. Right there. And just taking a bit of water. And there we have a new rule that we are going to create, and we say send SMS when appointment created. All right, and so the object would be the appointment. Just whoops. Which one is it? I'm never sure. Appointment type, appointment invite. Is it a slot? I need to check that. I'm going to have a look at the exact object that is created when we create a new appointment. For this, yes, I don't have anything in my appointments. Okay, I'm going to use a demo environment because it's faster for this. Just going there because at least on the demo environment, as we use the demo data, there are lots of appointments already created, and it will be easier for me. Going in debug mode again. Okay. In the appointments, I just wanted to check if I can see here every appointment. Do we have some? Okay. It's not really what I want. All right. Okay, looks like there are none here. I will create a new one. Okay. Maybe we should have the status also taken into account, like booked. All right. So this one is here. It's a calendar event. Okay. Okay, but then it needs to be, if it's just a calendar event, I suppose it is also linked to a booking or a appointment thing. Yeah, appointment. Okay, good. Appointment type ID. All right. I'm going to use that rather. Maybe in fact I'm going in a way where I'm going to create an automation rule, but maybe it is already purely standard. That's maybe a mistake I'm making a few times. So tennis court or dental care, that could be two good ones, because maybe there's something about introduction message, message and confirmation, but you have that. But that's the message that you will have on the page. Do we have something like SMSs somewhere? Okay, I'm just checking. We have a confirmation email. Okay, so we have an email, but there are no SMSs. So that is by default confirmation email, but we don't have confirmation SMS. So that's why you are seeing this. I was like, maybe I'm going into a direction of trying to answer this with a bit of code and something that is a bit more complicated than just using SMSs. If it were available as an option to dialogue. You could have the same question with WhatsApp, by the way. Okay, so I will continue what I wanted to do. It seems to be the right way. Automation rules. Okay, there we go. And we can say SMS when appointment. Then it would be, we saw that it was a calendar event, but we need to filter them out, because there, if I have a look at okay, a record on save. There, if I go, I will see, I'm pretty sure, yes, you see, we see the time offs, for example. We see a few things related to task. We see, well, things that are not related to appointment types, but this one, you see appointment, we have an appointment like interviews availabilities. So that is good. And that is appointment type ID. So I need to filter the ones that have an appointment type ID. So we do that by going here, appointment, where was it? Ah, it's the first one. Okay, is set. Okay, we confirm that. So we only have one record. I will put it here as well. Appointment. Okay. Is set, and if you want only to have it on one type of appointment, by the way, and not all the appointments, maybe you are like we have here, we have 4 different appointments. You don't just want to validate that on the dental care one and on the tennis court ones. In that case, you would be doing this slightly differently. You would go there and say is in, and then you would say dental care and a tennis court, and that would work also very, very nicely. You see that here the first one I created is not among those, so that's why this one wouldn't work. I will go back to my first ID. We say just is set, yes, and then we have a record. And then what we do, we can add an action, and then we have send SMS, and there you can send SMS, and you have the event reminder that you can reuse. It's already something that exists. It's going to select, I believe, the right number, and there you can eventually, you see here, change the content, and you know that you can change the content and use the placeholders with just that notion that where the object is the main object, so it will be the calendar event. So we show the name here, we show the time zone. Maybe you have to select yes, the date, start date, and it depends of the kind of importance you want to give to the starting date and the ending date and time. So those are the kind of things that you can add here. Okay, save and close, save and close. That should be sufficient to make it work, but we can try. Another thing I will do is maybe a slight change here. I will edit the domain just to say that it will work only if there's no ID. I will tell you why. I think we covered that already last week. Yes, that is it. We do that so that we are going to do it only once. When we move from something that doesn't have any ID to something that has an ID. ID is not set, allows you not to have an SMS sent every time things are saved, but the time things are saved during the creation. It's a question that we received because I don't know if it changed in version 18 or 17, but before that, with the automated actions that we call now automation rules, we had the possibility to say, do we do it at the creation of a new item or when we save them? In fact, well, I should restart it. At the creation or when we write, when we update them. And here on save, it's both at the same time. And so if you want to focus only on the ones that you create, you need to also say that before the update, there's no ID, and after the update, there's an ID, so that it would work. So this should be enough. I don't remember who asked me that. Error mining. Okay. And what was he saying? Because I didn't see that was another. Yes, so I'm looking for a way to send an SMS confirmation instantly. Oh yeah, no, that's correct. Okay, yes. From Abir Elias, can I use barcode for product selection in purchase order or sale order? Yes, I think you can. Going back here. I remember that there was something before. I don't know where, but I remember a colleague showing me that a few months ago. No, it's the view button here. Let me find that, because I remember seeing just a small icon there that was allowing to open the barcode. But let me try, because we said barcode 1. No, it's not selecting it just with barcode. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have the feeling that it was existing in the past. Okay. I think it's storable. I had a barcode, right? When I created it. No. I'll call it that way, barcode 3. We'll see. Yeah, okay. So at least on the search, it's working. So what could work already? When you have a scanner will scan your barcode and output what is written. So it should work just because of this. With a barcode scanner, if I had a product, I scan it, it will send the string of characters the same way it does it. It does here, and then you will be able to, as it presses directly or after a small amount of seconds on the enter button, you will have the same impact as doing this. But I thought that we had also a small camera thing with a barcode here. I'm just going to check that by having a look at the views. It should be a good indicator. Going in the views, form view, it's maybe form or tree. So with a form tree. Okay, it's not tree. It's list. Okay, and it will be on sale order, line or sale order, and then we are going to look for barcode information. Do we have that? And there we have something here. Where is it located? It is somewhere, but Odoo is not helping. I'm going to copy paste that in my text editor on my side just to quickly check that. We have a widget minute 1 barcode on the other lines, yes. So I'm trying to find it. Name order lines. It should be quite high. Order details, validity date, page string, order lines. Okay. Then it should be quite soon. Group. Is it here? Do we have that? Yeah, you see, that's why we couldn't see it. It was completely on the right. Yes, we have the widget here, meet 1 barcode. So this is expected that this would work, and it's on the product ID field. So that's correct. But it's when we are in tree mode, yes, in list mode. Yes. Okay, so there is something, but somehow I cannot see the button. Maybe I zoomed too much? No. But there is something because there's that widget. I'm going to do it with Studio, by the way, so you can see it. I suppose you will see it. Here, edit. Do we have that? Okay. It's not the barcode one there. That's maybe because it's the product template instead of the product. Yeah, it's product template ID. I don't know if we can see the product one, however. Okay, let's show what is invisible. Invisible elements. Product variant, okay. That's what I want to use. Okay. This one, it's not selecting the widget I thought it would select because we have this one made to one barcode. I'm going to change it and see if we have a change there. But then here I need the product variant. Okay. Still not. No. Yeah, another possibility would be to rely on this and then put the barcode. But somehow the widget, I don't have it. Just thinking about how I could have it differently over there. It's not this either. Nope. Because apparently there's something, but I don't know how to show it best. Yeah, you see, on both it was a sole product many to one, and this one I changed it to have that notion of many to one barcode. Do we have other barcode stuff? I can't many to one barcode. Okay, no, it's only one. That's what I wanted to try to have is come back with this notion of having the small icon that I think was there before. But that's maybe because I didn't have any product. No. So it will work in terms of research, but I had a feeling that we had a widget, but I cannot show it, or maybe it's not this place where we usually have it. I can investigate that a bit later, but maybe not now. Cannot find it. But it was something a bit like this one, a small icon on the right side with a barcode icon. But what we can do is maybe, and I will finish on this one. With this, I will have a look at quickly the version 17, just to see if what I'm thinking about, and I can maybe do that on version 16 as well, if I'm thinking about something that was in the past and not available anymore. It could be, okay, no, still same story. I don't know if it was something else. Nope. Okay, I'm maybe simply wrong. Okay, next one from Emmanuel Chaumery. A little problem with integration of Teledeck. I tried it for real this morning and seen that the balance transmitted in the complete balance means that revenue are the sum of 2023 and 2024. Did I do something wrong? Ooh, that would be complicated. I don't know. So maybe I should start with this. We have Teledeck now. I don't know if it's a module or just an option. I'm going to try that, but with France, because Emmanuel is from France, you can send part of your declaration to a service, a governmental entity, with things like the balances of your accounts, few information like that. And as we have the information in Odoo, it is about putting it in a specific format and sending it to Teledeck. But apparently, there seems to be something wrong, because here it's selecting 2 years instead of 1. Did you do something wrong? I don't know. It could be. I'm going to have a look at what we have, but I don't even know if we have it under the name Teledeck. No. It's just with the French reports that we have that. I never tried it, Emmanuel. So if you have a bit of information, don't hesitate to tell me, because I don't know if it's something like a module on its own. But it's written that way, right? I've seen the news on LinkedIn, but I didn't see it inside Odoo. So it's maybe just a report, but then we would have used the name Teledeck, I suppose. I'm checking how I could find information. Emmanuel, if you can tell me where it is located exactly, I will check first if I have yes, I have a French company here. I will do that, because there are a few places I can check for this information. Is it the sales closing? No. Yeah. I don't know if we have something like here directly. No. Okay, I don't see it here, and I'm pretty sure that you know it. Let me check if I can find more. Emmanuel, if you can guide me a bit more about where it is located in Odoo. I believe that if we have an error like this one, that seems important, what you can do is send a support email to our support, because if you don't have to select anything on your side related to errors that you may have, or related to what you need to send to Teledeck, and that the configuration is very straightforward, because I believe that it's expecting a standard that is always the same for everyone. If it's not working for you, maybe it's a small bug, so we will have to fix it. On my side, I don't know exactly where it is located. So we can come back to this, but I will wait for you to answer. We have another question on YouTube this time from Malay Kamar. What we can do with stock interim input and output account at the end of financial year closing, it has some balance. That is more a question for your accountant, in the sense that when you have an amount there, I can have a look at maybe your accounts in the profit and loss or the balance sheet. If you think that the amount in one of the accounts should be empty, and that is something that is a kind of a rule, and you expect it to be voided before the end of the year when you need to create your reporting, or the year after, but after a few months for the year that was just passed, what you need to do is check with your accountant where it needs to go. It's not so much Odoo's mission to confirm you that. What you will have to do, if you need to void it, is usually to post a new entry that moves the debit of the credit or the credit of one account to another. But which one would be the best for you? That I don't know. You need to check with your accountant and ask him if he uses Odoo to create a draft journal entry, or you create it and he validates, and you move that amount from one account to the other. We can go maybe to the question that is just next on YouTube from Alex Karg. Is it possible to create the following payment term in Odoo? 10 days 4% sconto, 30 days 2.25, and 60 days net. Let's try, and then you say You just said it twice. Okay, I have no idea because sconto is. Yeah, okay. That is okay. I need to check that because when I'm having a look at this here, I don't see any example. Yes, with early discount. Let's try it. But okay, I see what you mean. Here you will have only one line. So that's why you asked the question. No, you have only one place where you can add an early discount, and on your side you would like to have two different early discounts, and that's I believe what you want to do. Yes, 10 days it's 4%, 30 days is 2.25. So here you only have one early discount, and so you won't be able to do it unless you know it in advance. We can try to do two payment terms and see if that would be working. So I will call it that way. 4%, 10 days. Let's try it that way. Oops. And then the net 60 days. All right. Okay, I'm checking at the same time the text over there. Early payment discount will be 4%, yes, if it's paid before the 12th. We are the second, so that's good. And otherwise, one installment after, and then we can create the second one that you want, which is 225 for 30 days, and then 30 days here, 225 over there, and the rest 60 days after. But then the issue that you have is that you don't have two early discounts on the same payment term. You have two early discounts on two different payment terms. So it means that when you go on the invoice and you create a new invoice, select a client here and whatever the product. Okay. Here if I select payment term, if I put this one, okay, and then indeed you only expect this, so that would be problematic for the computation. Well, for what you want to accomplish. But if you can change that, or if you know it at the moment, usually you don't, of course. But if you know it at the moment of the invoice, that would work. Then yes. I'm checking quickly. So yeah, we are 120. Of course, if you click pay and then you have the right date, that is working. If I put it later, then it's not the same. Yeah, you see changing the date here. Amount is 115. If I go after those 10 days of 4%, it gives you this, but you don't have the second discount. In order to do that, you will need to go and change the payment term, but the payment term is already fixed because you validated the invoice. So I think that you don't have a perfect solution for that. You will have only one early discount per payment term, and not several ones. So for those kind of things, to me, it would mean development. So create a new extra module explaining how you would like the payment terms to change when you have several early discounts. So sconto in your message. Okay. All right. Another one on LinkedIn this time. Mamad Hussain is asking, how do we link the internal transfer to an order number in sales? That you don't. I can illustrate that maybe. Well, you don't. At least by default, Odoo doesn't do it. If I go there and I create a new sales, let's sell something again. All right. I confirm this one. I think that what you want is, okay, if I have a delivery and that the delivery is moving my stock from stock to customer, like it usually does. We have here, no, it's even picking this one. Very good. It will even illustrate it better. And that you complete it. If I validate, then I have a next transfer. I can validate it. Going back to the SO, here we have 3. Why? It's simply because we are going to have a 3-step pick, pack, ship to the customer. So that's why we pick, then we pack, then we ship it out. So part of the one way of answering the question would be, but here you already have internal transfer to that order number. But I suppose that on your side, it's not only the ones that are created by Odoo, but some that are manual or some that are not automatically related by Odoo because the route is very, very complex or any other thing. I will consider that you want to make it completely manual. In order to know that, how those things are linked, one way that can help me is having a look at what is behind that delivery button. And you see there's a method that is called action view delivery, and that I'm going to use it. I think it would be Odoo community and not enterprise that does that. So it is, let me check again, action view delivery. Action view delivery. And from there, yes, we have, that is for dropshipping, but we have another one, I guess. Yes, it is this one, and then it says get view picking. Okay, with some pickings. Okay, so it's simply because in the sales we have picking IDs. That's maybe as simple as that. We can check the fields. Do we have something like picking IDs? Oh yeah, it's just that. So you can add your picking sale ID to your picking. So we can do that. Let's say have a look at the deliveries. I suppose that here we have the source document, but there must be okay, a procurement group that I'm okay. A sale order, but it's just I was going to say just pure text, but not even. We have a sale order. So let me do it again, because here we see that how the link is made. It's even simpler than what I thought. If I go in the inventory, I'm going to create a new internal transfer. I'm going to move something from one place to another. Okay, internal transfer. I'm going to move it from stock to. We have some picking place. No, we don't have any second stock location I could use. To the output. Let's do it. All right. I'm going to select my storable product. Let's move just one for the beginning. Yeah, and then you have a sale order. So I could do this and add manually the sale order. But I wonder if that is not version 18. We can test on version 17 just after. So this one, going back to the sales, saying my sale order, now I have 4. I have those 3 that were done automatically by Odoo, and then the last one that I did manually. And you see it's in draft. So it's simply this one. There is a sale order here on the transfer. I just want to quickly check something. As I have, if I remember well, no, I closed it. I think that during a discussion with a colleague, I realized that it was a different one, a bit different in terms of picking a data model. We can make a quick check of this kind, going into the inventory. Any type of receipts, we go there, we go in debug mode, and that is usually sufficient for assessing something. But I will go in the fields, and do we have pickings? Here you see picking. I find a few things, but there's no. No, I mean the picking. That's stupid of me. I needed to go to the sale order instead. Sale orders, because we saw that the thing was that in the fields we had picking IDs. Do we have it? Yes, we have picking IDs, and that is the same field. So now you should have it also on V17. So I suppose that it should work this way. I don't remember who asked that, but that's how I would answer your need. If it's just a functional link that you need, if you tell me no, it's more complicated than this, then please don't hesitate to comment that in the chat box. From Sidik Momin on LinkedIn this time. Hi, how do I see the company-wise pricing in the product list? I have 3 companies with different currencies. I want user to see company-wise pricing in their own company logged in. Okay. You cannot see that way, I think. Let's try it. But here I have to. You talk about currencies, but you could have the same issue even with the same currency, but with 2 different companies that sell the product at different prices. So I'm going to illustrate that by just using between Belgian and French company. In the product. I'm going to do another change also, if you allow me. I'm going to put again my access rights to sales admin Here I changed that at the beginning. Oops, and I would like to yes, put it back to admin. Yes, perfect. All right. So we said I'm using the same product. We have a price that is here, 15 euro per unit, and let's change that in France because it's 15 as well. I'm going to say 20. If I change that and go back to Belgium, you see it's the same price because the field in fact has only one value and the value is shared by everyone. When you have different prices per countries, what you need to do is rather here I will keep it at 20 for Belgium, but I will put it at 15 for France. What you need to do is change the price list and say, you see here you have a default price list with a French company, and we need to say, okay, in that default price list, there's one product that is storable product that I would like to move to a fixed price of 15. Okay, if I do that, a fixed price or formula or whatever, that's your decision. If I do this, going back to my products, there I will go back to my storable product. Same again. Okay, I see here I'm still 20, Belgium 20, France always the same, and that's because in fact it is going to show only the price here that is the list price. But if I in France here and I'm going to select a new client, then you see it's going to adapt with the right price. So the information that you need is not located around the product, it's located around the price list. And if you want to see prices on one product in particular per company, because here it's related to one company, you need to go and extract that information of pricing per product. That would be the first way I would do that. And then in order to do that correctly, you need to not only see the price list, but also the price list item, whatever the company. We are going to see how we can do that. I was just curious about one thing, because I know that we had before the possibility to create, to extract price list from here. We have print labels or price list report. Yes, but is it going to allow you to have multiple companies? I need to, yes. Yeah, you have it here per quantity. Yeah, but then you don't have it for different companies, do you? Let's try. Yeah, it's going to show it here. Let's retry it this way. No, it shows only one price, even though I have two companies. Not possible to. Okay, it's going to show different price lists, but that's bothering, because when you have different companies, it's going to show only one. So otherwise, I would have reused this and ungroup it per company, but it looks like there's no possibility. I'm going to unzoom again because the button seems a bit different. No, okay, this one wouldn't work, but we can maybe reuse that either in a spreadsheet eventually, or in with a new menu item. That would be a possibility. If we have price list here, and that is not going to give you the right information, we could create maybe this, editing the menu, and I'm going to reuse an existing model. It's what I'm going to show is not perfect for at least one reason. Price list rules. Those are rules and not items. Okay. Up. Just here after the price list. Let's confirm and close. So now it's located here, and then you see different price lists. And there you have one, because you know it's 15 for France, but as the base is 20 for Belgium, it's not showing here. So the best, if you do that and you feel like this is a good enough approximation, you would have also to use, if you want a comparison, here for the storable product, a fixed price, and you put the fixed price again right there. Because then if I don't create the rule, it was not. No, it was 15 or it was 20. No, it was 20. So that I have to create my rule that would be the same as the default price, because otherwise it doesn't exist as a price list item. It exists because we can find it on the product, but if it's not a price list item, I wouldn't be able to find it. And there you will need to group per product, and then you have the different prices and currency depending on the company. That would work. This idea works with different currencies, unlimited number of companies. The issue is that you need to create a price list rule for every product that you want to compare. So that is maybe a bit of extra work in terms of price list rule generation, but at least it is working for all the companies. I regret that going there in the price, in the products, and selecting the product you don't have. Right here, as we were saying, when you have the price list report, it doesn't show it multi-company. That's maybe something that I would like to see improved. Yeah, because this one is. The thing is that you have two price lists here, because it will select the price list of your different companies, and so instead of splitting the product per price list, it is asking you to select a price list, and because of that, it will show it. You could maybe do that. That's another possibility. Is use the pure standard. And that would work. You use the pure standard and you export things in CSV so that you have, you need to export it as many times as you have price list. The only thing is that when you, that's the only drawback, is you have to export many times and then regroup those CSV together in one main other Excel sheet so that you can compare it. That would work. Okay, we have another one, another question here from Viral Crayox. Please publish complete all JavaScript framework documentation or tutorial videos. We have already that, but I don't know if through your comment you expected more. If you go in Odoo documentation, I think that in the tutorials you will find it. You have web framework here, and you have, okay, what you mean is that you only have 2 chapters, and then you have a bit more here. In terms of all, that is why you will find information. We don't have a course the same way you have it here on the server framework. There you have multiple chapters, but I don't know if this is sufficient or not. I have never followed that tutorial. I did the first one, like the server framework, and I really love it. I think it's a great course. And additionally to that course, you have also on odoo.com/slides, you have introduction to development. Yes, I think that's the one. And that introduction to development is going through all of this course over there, but in the form of videos. It's available to our partners, this one. It's a very good one. I love the way it is presented. So the joint effort of this server framework text and the videos on the other side is enough to make you a superstar in development and be able to start your own modules on Odoo. But those 2 ones, that I don't know. So I suppose that that's what you mean. But videos, we don't have that many. We have also videos on experience.odoo.com where we have but it's usually a video of 1 hour, a few things that we show in all. And do we have something else? I think it stops there. So, but we have people available at Odoo to teach that, but of course then it's a paid service. Otherwise, what we have here is usually sufficient. And I don't think that we have a JavaScript video in the slides, but that's maybe where we should focus our efforts. Let's try this. No, I don't think we will have, no. I know we are in the building a Odoo SH new smart class, but JavaScript is not part of the roadmap, I think, at the moment. Malay Kamar is asking, what is the difference between vendor bill and purchase receipt? Globally speaking, I think it's the term that you use, but the journal entries that you have behind are pretty similar. Because if I go in the accounting, you will find here in your bills, I think that if you confirm a bill and you have a look at the journal items that are generated, and if you do the same on the other side with a receipt, it would be pretty much the same. But I see here No particular receipt. I don't know if it's something that we still have, by the way. Receipt reminder, sale receipt, yeah, purchase receipt. Okay. I think it's to allow making faster entries with less information. First of all, you see that there's not an invoice number. It looks like, at least, and you can link it to another bill. If I'm doing this, all right. And let's go back in the accounting in terms of journal entries. You see, we generated. It's not this one. That is for the vendor bills journal, correct. And the other one, I don't see it. Let me check. I'm not sure I validated it. No, I did. That is good. But it's an old one. Okay, that's why I think that if I change the date here. And I do that, then it will be visible in journal entries. Yes, those are the two. One of the differences, the number you see, this one is structured, the other one not. In terms of journal entries, I think that in terms of structure, you don't have that many differences. There you have VAT, customer and income, and then it's the same. I think it's pretty much related to the obligation that you have at an invoicing level for some of the countries. I'm not sure that it's the only difference, because I see here we mentioned some other bill reference, but I can have a look at that later, because that would be the only difference to me. We have another question from Malay Kamar. Bank transaction fetch. Can we fetch bank transaction from one specific date instead of the whole transaction data? No, you. I suppose that you mentioned the synchronization that we have here. When you synchronize, when you click on transactions and you want to fetch them, you don't have the choice of which transaction you want to select. It will select at the beginning all the transactions from a date to today, and you cannot hand pick a few dates. That's not something that you can do. Usually when you go to the online synchronization, there you see which are the different accounts that are synchronized together. You have a last synchronization, and you see the last refresh and the next one, but in the past you cannot select just a few days. Well, it seems to be your question when you talk about a specific date, but yeah, that's it. Antoine Huvelle is asking how to display delivery note numbers linked to an invoice. I'm trying to check that. I will maybe continue the sales that I had just here, or was it the other one? Because there we have deliveries, so that's what you ask, delivery note numbers. Okay, if you click on create invoice, regular invoice. No, I didn't deliver it, so I will deliver it first. Okay, let's deliver that. So that Odoo will allow me to create the invoice. Regular invoice here, and then you would like to display it somewhere on the invoice. So if we want to have it on the invoice, the best is that we have it somewhere here as a default, as a field that contains information. And in order to see if we have that, I need to go first as a direct field. I will need to go first in the fields here, and I check if we have something that is related to the stock, like stock move, stock picking. We have stock move ID. I'm astonished this one because yes, it's maybe the journal entry for the valuation, so it's not. It could help though. If from the invoice we have a stock move ID, that stock move ID should have also a picking. So I can try that just to see if this seems to work. I'm going to confirm it, and I'm going to check the view of the invoice. That's what you ask, to display delivery note numbers. Yes. Okay. So it would be the report, the invoice report. that's where I can start working. So the invoice report document, that's where we have the main information. I'm going to do it directly in the view instead of a inherited view, but you know that it should be done the proper way with an inherited view. And I'm going to check that here we create a new item like those ones that are, I can show that where I'm making that change. If I select the PDF and we see what it prints, you see we have a bit of header information here. I'm going to, next to the source, I'm going to add that delivery information if we have it. So we have a reference, customer code, Incoterm, delivery source, perfect. Source is here. I'm going to do that, and we said it was, I forgot it, it was stock move ID. I'm not sure anymore. Let's go back here. No, not the view form, just the fields. Stock move ID, that's it. Okay. And I suppose that if it's a stock move ID, and it has, it's a stock move. Most of the stock moves are related to pickings. So I just want to check if we have on our stock move. Also, I guess it should be picking ID, but I'm never sure. So we can try that. Picking ID, yeah. And if the picking ID is there, there must be a name, but maybe it's directly selectable there, like a reference field or something like this. Yes, reference, that's it. Usually it's the reference. We can try it that way. Stock move ID dot reference. Stock move ID dot reference. If it doesn't work with reference, I can try it with picking ID dot name, and we'll see. So let's try this one. Okay. And let's print again. Okay, it doesn't seem to show me anything, so maybe there's none. I'm going to, what I can do, just to be sure that there is some value there, what we can do is either show it directly in a view, or try to export it if it's information that can be exported. So we said stock move, yes. I'm going to remove all of that. I'm just interested in knowing if we have a stock move there. And if we have, and we don't, here it is. So it's not the right information I can trust. So my search would be a bit more complicated. I need to put the picking in the right place so that we can make it easier. I'm going to use Studio just to add the field in the other info, and maybe a final check, because I want to be sure that I'm not reinventing the wheel. I already do it a bit too much. So we have the account move, and in the account move, I just would like to be sure that we don't already have also a notion of picking. No, it's okay. So let's remove that. Let's add my picking. And you feel. Yeah, it's the same now. We would like to display different. Yeah, no, that's correct. Yeah, yes, that's it. He asked it in two moments, but it's true. It's the same question in the end. Minute one. I just want to check so many things because I see also the delivery dates below, and if there's a delivery date, maybe there's a way we can find how the delivery date was found for the invoice. So many different ways of checking this. So I will add a transfer here. So the first thing that you can do is consider that it's an extra job that you do manually, and then you select the picking. So the one that we have is, I think it was the last of the outs, but I'm not sure. So I can go back on the sales side. This one, delivery was output here, and output, it was number 4. Okay, so we could say and we do it manually, it's number 4. So we have the information and now we can display it. That's the first thing that we could do. Yes, the issue is that I didn't name it correctly, so you see my field name is not the greatest of all. I will need to copy paste it. That's a shame that I did it that way. Oops, I'm just going there to copy paste in an easier way. So if we have a value there, and the name is not origin but picking, I would display it as well. Its name at the very least. Okay, let's retry that. Then we'll see after, if we have a bit of time left, if we can automate that. Was it this one? Like it was 6 minutes ago. Yeah, it seems correct. Okay, and now you have the information because I entered it manually. The complex part now is trying to automate that. There is the value. If you have lots of sale orders and invoices and you want to automate this, it would be a bit longer. There's at least one way I can think of that would work, and so it's trying to find which is this information that we need. It's a bit long, but I think it can do it in the time that we have remaining. It's again based on server action. It shouldn't be that long, in fact. Or automated actions. Yes. Auto add picking to invoice. So we are on an account move. We are going to say we work only on the invoices that are linked to a sale journal, so that it's not going to bother us in any other case. Sale journal type. Yes, it's in sales, that's good. All right, we do it on save. I need to redo my filter. That is stupid. Journal type. Sales, okay. What else do we have to check? I wonder if I do well. Yeah, no, I will do it that way. So what do we have available? There's a first thing that we can do is I think that we have a notion of origin or something like this somewhere. No? Don't we have invoice origin field? I thought that we had that. We have customer reference, invoice here. I wonder if we don't have that. I'm going to check that again. Maybe it's a field that is not shown, but that exists anyway. I'm going to export it. Origin. Yes, we have invoice origin. I'm doing that. I don't like the idea of using a text field for this, but I want to show that a few things that are possible. And this one I think is. Okay, invoice origin has a value, and this is the value that it contains, and that is correct. So I could use that, go on the sale order, from the sale order, have the pickings, select the last ones of the pickings, but the last one is a bit more complicated. Or I could use the one that is of a specific type, that would be the delivery, so I would have to filter them. That's one way of doing. The only thing that I don't like is the fact that I'm going to use some text information here, and that it's, if you have, let's say, for example, multiple sale orders, and that you make just one invoice, it won't work. Simply because we are going to have a comma, and so it will be SO20, comma SO21, and I cannot make an easy search like the one I wanted to do like this. I'm going to go further, and I will illustrate a few things that are not working super well. Another possibility, knowing the data model, is doing the following. The lines on a sale order, if I remember well, are linked to the sale ID. So we can maybe do that, and so it's selecting the first line of an invoice and checking, okay, do we have a sales order line related to you? Yes. Can we find the on the sale order line the picking information? That's a possibility that we can check. So what I want to do is have a look at the account move line and see if there we have that possibility with sale information or picking information or stock move information. I can start. No, that's the. I can start with that. That is the one that we don't want. Okay, it's not there. Do we have a notion of picking? No. Do we have a notion of sale that we have? Sale line IDs. Okay, we have several ones. I will check if among the many ones that we have, there's something more that we can use. Currency. I'm going and have a look at journal entry, but that's maybe the same idea that we had at the beginning. Product purchase, statement, tax group. No, and then in the many to many or one to manys, that's maybe where we are going to find them. Many to many sale line IDs. Okay, I will have to work with the sale line ID. I don't like it too much because it's also not great. So two IDs, either the invoice origin or the sale line IDs. I'm going to use the first one, I think. Okay, let's try this. And let's say we want to search, so we select the record. I'm going to say sale order is the record that we have, but we are making a search, so it will be a bit different. It's we go for sale order, we make a search, and in that search we say that what we want to search is the record.invoice origin that should be matching the name. So we need to do this. The name should be equal to the invoice origin, and we'll see if we have a match. That I'm pretty sure that we'll have a match, but we are going to raise user error and just do this to see if we are on the right way. Let's save it. We are not on the right way, as I made a mistake apparently. Okay, search 1 2 3 1 2. Oh yeah, that is missing. All right. So just saving the invoice should make this change. So was it this one? We have a sale order on. Yes. So I'm going to make just a small change, removing this. Yeah, there it's telling me there's an issue. What is it telling me? List has no attribute search. It's not that. And sale order, that is missing. Yes, okay. Okay, it's telling me it's sale order number 20. That is good. So I can go from there and select the pickings, sale order picking IDs. But the problem is that I need to filter them because I only want the one that is part of the picking ID of a specific type. Because what do we have here? If I go back to the sale that we have here, we have multiple deliveries, and what you want to show to your client is, I believe, this one. So this one, it's number 4, so I need to select the one that is part of either I select as the source location output or the destination location client. That would work, or I would work on the picking type. That would work as well. In that case, I think that if I have a look at the fields again, if I select the type, we have a picking type somewhere. Picking type ID, yes. So I'm going to reuse that somehow. And which picking type ID it is? It is. Then we need to go there. It's the one that is about delivering. So the one that matters to me is this one. This one is ID number 2, if I'm correct, here above. Yes, I think it's 2. Okay. So we need to have that. Picking type ID must be equals to 2 in the filtering that I'm going to use. And that is something that I don't use that much. So I will need to trust Odoo's documentation and try to find the filter notion in the API. Yes, in fact, I'm going here. Yes, filter, because then it's giving you a function. You need to use a function inside. So I'm going to copy paste that. I'm going to reuse it. And so I need to say picking type equals to, that should be enough. And then we can try it, and if it works, I'm going to write on the invoice. Let's try it again. Error. What is it telling me? Oops. Let's retry. What is it telling me? Stock picking has no object filter. Yes, apparently I already have only one picking, because I should have received several pickings and not only one. Picking IDs. So from there, I believe that I will have too much if I do this. I will have 3. I need to select the last one, but it's bothering me to do it that way. I thought that I could filter on that record set. So that's, yes, I have several records. So that's weird. I'm going to do this just to see what is contained in pickings, because that should be a record set. Like my sale order has pickings. So I'm astonished that this doesn't work. Okay, we have 4 pickings, that's correct. And apparently, it's filtered, not filter, I think. Maybe that's where I made a mistake. Yes, it's filtered with a ED at the end. That's it. I told you I don't use that much. Okay, the stock picking is empty here, so it means that my filter is wrong. So I suppose that I selected the wrong ID, in fact, in terms of delivery orders. This one is number 2, and it could be related. I'm checking this. No, it's good. It could be related to the fact that the change I'm bringing here, if I want to filter among IDs, first, I didn't say ID. That could be the first thing. But also, what could be problematic is that I'm giving one value here, and though I could have multiple companies, so multiple picking types for the same meaning, for the same delivery, for the same notion of delivery. So I would need at least to give several IDs instead of just one. Okay. So now I have that right picking, that's good. And then as I have that picking, oops, let me find it again. We are going to write on the record. It's not the best way of doing, again, I don't think there's a best way just with server action, but it would be sufficient. I would click on this, record of write, right here. And we say, yes, it was a very, very long name. It's the one here. We write on that field and we say it's going to be picking.id. If we do this, it should be sufficient, but maybe another thing I would like to do is only do that, only write on the record if we have a picking, and if the record doesn't have already a value in that field, because otherwise I'm going to write the same information again. It's not a big change, it's not super important, but I think it would be better. But then I made a mistake. Yes, I put 2 ifs. And that is it. Let's save. And let's retry that. It works well, but it didn't select the right picking here, so that is an issue maybe, because then it's not doing exactly what I want. Okay. In my 15 records, I have the one that I created now, no? It's the number 1. Okay, it's here. One of those 2 is correct. So it must be there that I have an issue. If we have the picking, that was a picking value, and it was a not, because we want to do it when we don't have any value. All right, let's do it again. Good, that is done automatically now. Perfect, so that's how we would do it. Again, we started from using this notion of invoice origin. That is good, but not perfect, because again, if you have multiple values, I would need to split it. It's possible to do it there as well. Split it depending on the commas, so that we have different values. I can look for several sale orders, several pickings then, and that would work. Maybe there's another field that I'm not using, but another alternative was to use the invoice lines, go from the invoice line to the sale line ID, then find the sale order, then find from the sale order the picking the same way. That would be another way to get to the sale order. I'm checking if we have another place that we could have. Yeah, I didn't start having a look at the operation itself, because maybe, and that's stupid, I could have had a look at that. Maybe, which is it was the one here, number 4. No, it's not this one. Going back on the sale order, maybe the information is there the other way around. It is there from the picking itself. We see the invoice, or we see some other information that could be helpful. I doubt it, because we created a picking before the invoice, and usually when we create a picking before an invoice, we are not going to mention the invoice after in the picking. I can check that and quickly have a look at the fields that we have here. Did we have something about account or invoice? No, so I think it's better that way. Not perfect though, but that is just the cherry on the cake. If you create the field and you add it manually, it's already quite nice, if that's what you want for your clients, knowing that the other addition was to have a look at, well, changing the report. Again, do that, not the way I did it, but in an inherited view. Just to mention, here it was quite a complete exercise with change of the data model, a bit of reporting, a bit of automated action. You can do a lot. You see, sometimes clients will say, okay, this is super important, I need it on this or that document. It can be achieved in, I think it was 15 minutes, and it's at the same time talking with you. So that's why it's a bit longer. But you see the spirit of the small changes that you can bring even on a SaaS. That's also something that is very important. I see that we have other questions. Apparently, the fact that we are now on YouTube, multiplying the different medias, we always have too many questions, which is very good, but I will try to see if we can answer them in the videos, or do it the next time that we don't have the opportunity to meet together, because there won't be anyone available on the Thursday. We are going to pre-record the videos with all the extra questions that we couldn't answer. Thanks a lot again for all your participation, the time that you dedicate to this, the questions, your will to learn Odoo functionally and technically. It's a real pleasure to be there, and I hope this year, 2025, will bring you lots of customers and lots of good things on Odoo. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.